Hello there everyone, welcome to a brand new Retro Sunday, and today it's time for episode 7. Today it is time for something completely different. It is the original Crash Bandicoot game. Now obviously it's a massive franchise, the Crash Bandicoot franchise. It's just come back on PS4 in the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, but before that there have been plenty of successful games, but this is going back straight to the start in 1996. Now, just to disclaim before we start, this is not the original game. This is an emulator called PSXE, and it's an enhanced PSX emulator. I've downloaded a file for Crash Bandicoot. It's all legit, etc. But obviously I can't get, unfortunately, the original game unless I play Class Lament. And to be fair, admittedly, this does look better. So for today, and maybe a few more episodes if you guys seem to like this, we will be doing on the PSX emulator on the PC. I hope it looks alright. I'm just recording it with OBS. It's really a first test, and hopefully it should be all okay. So I'm just going to, by the way, have to wear some headphones because obviously I don't want the desktop audio interfering with the microphone, etc, etc. But I also want to hear what's going on. But I'll only have one headphone in because I'm actually waiting for a delivery of 6 SingStar games. I know it's not really the delivery you'd probably expect. But here we go then, Crash BA whatever. We're not going to have time to read all those letters out. But here we go, let's start a new game. Now I'm using a PS3 controller for this rather than obviously the PS1 or PS2 controller. But there's no like cutscene to start off with, so we're going to start straight away on Sanity Beach. What do we have to do? Do you have to click start? It's always a great start when you have no idea what you're doing, doesn't it? What are we doing? Because I'm clicking the X button, it's just going round the island. Well, that's lovely, but you know, I'm not really interested in that. What do we do? How very odd, I had to reload the game, but now it is working. So on the first level, Sanity Beach, it's only going to be like a 20-minute sort of play. So here we go. Oh god, look at this chap. Tell you what though, this does look very good. I'm just quite amazed. What a great start. I am quite amazed by how the emulators make the game look so good. Obviously back in the day they didn't have the capability to make this game sort of HD. And I do believe this is, well, there is a remastered version. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm hopeless at this, trying to talk and do the game at the same time. I've actually took my headphones out because the music is distracting me a little bit, particularly because it's in my ears and not particularly because of anybody else. But this is probably, of all the, well, in fact it is, out of all the Retro Sundays, the most iconic out of all of them. And obviously, you know, Crash Bandicoot 1996. Oh, what are we doing now? Do we need to go up here? Hold on. I'm confused now. Where do we go? Do we need to go to the left? I can see where we need to... Ah, okay. That's weird. We couldn't get up there for the start. But there we go. Up here. And that's checkpoint. I think. We need to like to stamp on it. You can see my complete inexperience in playing Crash Bandicoot games, can't you? But they're sort of like a turtle sort of figure. Need to make sure we can get past him. Whoa, that was close. Tell you what, this is harder than you think. But we're doing alright at the moment. But I had to read up on Google just to see when I couldn't get into the game, whether it was something I was doing. But I was reading a quick article which said actually the remastered version is a lot... What? That's a ladder, isn't it? Surely can get over there. Jeepers creepers. Right, but yeah, it did say that the remastered version apparently is harder than the original, which is interesting because a lot of these old games, you know, the likes of PS1... Oh, well done. Well done, Jones. Well done, well done. Some people do say that the PS1, PS2 games are better than the new games, potentially because, I don't know, maybe they're easier, maybe some of them are harder, maybe some of them have got more content in. I don't particularly know. But I did laugh at... Oh my god, I'm doing terribly at this. We're only on the bloody first level. It is a disaster. We're going to have a go at it again. This is our last time. But just to talk while we continue. Obviously, I can't even remember what I was saying now. But, yeah, it was a good post by CEX on Facebook the other day. A picture just showing what your PS1 and PS2 game libraries would look like compared to the PS3 and PS4. And it's so true because... it basically was saying that your PS1 and PS2 library would be particularly bigger than the old libraries. But I think what people consider is that, and what people always think is that... Ah, there we go. Are you kidding? Deary me, we've had an absolute mare in this first level. Yes, we are going to continue and have another go at that, but the games PS1 used to be expensive. And PS2, I remember looking at a post yesterday on Facebook which said that somebody had bought an old F1 game from a charity shop for 50p, and there was still the sort of insert and receipt from when the person had originally bought it, and it was £26.99, so you can't be fooled into thinking that these games were always very cheap. It's just the fact that the complete sort of amount of these games that were made for these consoles is colossal compared to 360 and Xbox One or PS3 and PS4. I'm not quite sure, because until we sort of get to the point where Xbox One and PS4 is retro, because, you know, there's been an increase in technology, I'm not sure whether the price of those will come down. But I can never imagine the prices of the, you know, PS4 and Xbox One games to come down. But then again, you simply don't know, do you? Because, again, you know, they could become retro and there could be something particularly a lot better. I can never imagine there being anything better than the likes of the Xbox One stuff at the moment. But admittedly, a lot of the old games I would consider to be better than the new games. There's not really many of the new Xbox One, PS4 games for me anyway that turn me on. Not like that. I should have used much better terminology than that. Engage me, that's the one. That engage me than the old retro games. I can't quite believe I just said that, but rookie error, I suppose. But if you guys do enjoy this, make sure to go and leave a like. It's the 7th episode of Wet Retro Sunday, and that finally is the first mission done. Now, I had a quick look at a speedrun, actually, whilst I was preparing to make this video, and apparently he can be done in 1 hour and 50 minutes. I'm fairly sure I'd do it in a little bit less than that, but we'll do a few levels today. Oh my god, we missed a few boxes, didn't we? But, oh, alright, you're taking the mick out of Crash here a little bit. That's a bit unfair. But I think, unfortunately, because this game is on an emulator, you can't really get sort of the age of the game, because it's, you know, I think it's 60 FPS, etc, etc, etc. And the problem is, it doesn't really replicate the original game. However, let's get past that TNT box, even though we've just stepped on it. But I can't remember what I was going to say. Whoa! What the hell's that? Blimey. They're like animals. Bonkers. I can't remember. But, yeah, that's what I was saying. The age of these games are quite incredible. I mean, oh my god. This is meant to be Crash Bandicoot. I forgot we were playing God of War. Jeepers Creepers. This is crazy. I do not remember the Crash games to be like this. Saying that, the only Crash game I remember playing was Crash of Titans, which was like 2008. So, for me to be playing this is kind of not good if you're looking for knowledge about the games, because I'll tell you something, a lot of the games we play on Retro Sunday I've never played in my life, because, or maybe, you know, not played particularly well. Oh, that's challenging. Let's get past this. Come on then, mucker. Whoa! We went for him and he just, you know, gobbled us up. We're going to have to start at the start again. You know me talking about speedruns just then. I don't think there's any chance of me doing one on this for any time soon. I think that's fair to say. But at the end of the day, oh my god, we're just completely out of time and touch with this. But I have to say, I'm quite impressed with the compatibility of this PS3 controller. I did have to configure it, like go into the settings and click the X button for what would be X. And I do recommend this emulator, actually. It's the EPSXE emulator. I'm only going to use it for PS1 games, because for PS2 I do want to get the collection in terms of the boxes, the raw discs of the game, because really I think that's the best way to collect the games. However, for me, oh, encoding's overloaded at the moment, but it does only do that for a few seconds, so I can only apologise if that does happen. The video's a little bit laggy at points. I can't help that, unfortunately. It just does happen, and there's nothing I can do about that, to be honest. Tell you what, I don't like the fact that there's no checkpoint for about 50 yards. Probably a bit more than that, actually. But I'm completely fine at this. But just, you know, don't think that you're coming here for a walkthrough. Oh, my God. This is meant to be, this is like a disaster video. I think I'm genuinely doing this because I'm just completely stupid. But I am enjoying this, you know. Retro Sunday's not about being brilliant at the game. It's about having a 20-minute showcase of games. And just a little bit of shout out to Captain Goodspeed, my great friend Captain Goodspeed. Who I do the Tuesday Night live podcast with on his channel, Captain Goodspeed, as you might have guessed. But, oh my god, Jeepers creepers, we can't do this at all. He is starting a retro game showcase at some point. And I would completely recommend going to watch it. It'll be different to the type of games I'm playing. And if you want your retro fill... No, I don't want to go back to Sanity Beach. Oh, have we got to go back there because we've failed that one so many times? That's a bit nasty. I'll tell you what, we've been playing for a good 7-8 minutes now, and it feels like a lot longer. I feel like after playing an hour of this game, I could get quite annoyed and quite frustrated, but I won't do that to you today, because Retro Sunday is all about a bit of calm, you know, a bit of calm retro goodness to end your weekend with, and I suppose for me, it starts the weekend. It's Saturday morning, of course. When did I ever say I was unprepared to do videos? God, I can't remember that. But I'll just take this moment just to thank you guys for your support on Retro Sunday. Some of the videos haven't done well as others, but particularly the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire video has done very well. But I feel like this video could do quite well because, again, it's a popular game. And I will try and play popular games because I can understand that the likes of the original Burnout and God of War maybe aren't the most popular games. But really, I feel like this series is just luck in terms of views. But at the end of the day, a lot of the things, a lot of the games I play in this series, it's just, I look at my drawer one day and think, you know what, I'm going to play this a little bit like today. I was looking through a list of PS1 games with Captain Goodspeed last night, and I thought, you know what, let's just play Crash Bandicoot. Now, it's the original game, and again, it's something that, you know, it's a bit of retro history, I suppose you could say. I think that's really nice, and maybe we could play more Crash games in the future. But maybe we could play something next week on the emulator, which is whatever you like. If you go over to the website called EMU Paradise, pardon me, that's where I get all my ISOs from to play these games. So if you guys want me to play anything on the PS1, again, making sure it's kind of, you know, PG, I suppose, nothing that's, i.e. Playboy the game. I don't particularly want to play that on Retro Sunday, even though I might play that in my spare time. I can't quite believe I've just said that. I'll tell you what, I do say some stupid things just to entertain you guys, so appreciate that. Jungle Rollers, then, is the second mission. We've done the first mission quite successfully, actually, this time. But this time, we need to do it properly, the second mission. I would quite like to get the original Crash Bandicoot on disc at some point, just to say that I've got it. But for the moment, the emulator version is more than good enough. But obviously, for all the authenticity and all that, it would be great to get it on disc. So it's quite an interesting debate whether people have, you know, would, in terms of their collections, would like to build collections of retro disc games, you know, the actual disc, the actual thing itself, arguably. Or whether people aren't particularly bothered and, you know, would settle for the emulator because it's, you know, it's free. Personally, I think a lot of the fun comes from going on eBay, going on Facebook, going on, you know, going to CEX, whatever. And what's happened here? Who's he? I don't get... What's going on here? Why have we got, like, a weird dude on our face? I've got absolutely no idea. But this seems to be the furthest we've got with this one. We've reached a checkpoint! Yes! We've reached a checkpoint! Oh, my... Oh. I was thinking there's going to be something disastrous behind this wall, but actually it wasn't too bad. But... It's not actually, I'll be really cocky now. If you are kind of not talking and making a retro... I thought nearly go out. If you're not talking and not making a Retro Sunday video, this game could be one that you could, leave a bit of slang here, sweat. Because, you know, if you could play all the missions a few times and get into it, then I feel like it's one of those that you could just play, sweat at the end of the day. Try and get as many of the boxes as possible. I'm really trying to get past the levels at the moment. You know, I might come back to it at a later date and try and get the... Oh, no! Well, at least we got to the checkpoint, then. That's a good thing. It's crashed past this again. But for a game that was released in 1996, I feel like it's very good. It's a lot better than some of the PS2 games, and I think that's a good thing for it. And Crash Bandicoot, I think the original one made by Naughty Dog. That is the company that's created it. Oh, see Daisy. Is that us out? Seemed a bit harsh. TNT blew up fairly quick, but then again, if you just say TNT, I feel like you should be quite apt at noticing what's going on there. But here we go. 97 of those apples collected. Oh my god. We're bottling it now. We were doing so well, now we're bottling it. Deary me. I don't know how long we've been recording for, because there was about a 5-minute period that I was trying to search how to actually get onto the game, but actually it was just a matter of fact of clicking, ramming the X button. But I do feel like some of these games I'm going to have a little bit of incompatibility issues with the emulator. But for games like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and those that are very expensive and stuff that you can't really justify paying for, i.e. like 20 quid for them, I feel like the emulator's better for those. But for a lot of games, I personally think... Oh, let's gloss over that ever happened. But I personally think that, you know, I would certainly build disc collections of games. I don't know about you guys, but I would certainly build the disc collections of games. Because... It's a weird one. I can't really justify myself, but it's kind of like the real entity, isn't it? It's the real thing. And as I say, I think the fun comes from collecting the games more than actually playing the games, which might sound stupid, but you know, if you've got a lot of games in your cabinet or your drawer, you can kind of look at them sometimes. And I'm getting sick of these stupid things at the moment. I'm getting the timing completely wrong, but we'll have one more go, and then I think we'll call it a day. But as I say, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you trying to build a retro collection? Would you like to build a retro collection? Are you not bothered at all? Would you just rather watch retro games yourself? Personally, that went badly, didn't it? But for me, I just remember I saw a PS2 on eBay. It was £35 with 20 games. And I thought, you know what? Why not? Let's get some of these games because, you know... it's a bit of retro memory, you know, a bit of nostalgia. At the end of the day, for me, I'm 17 years old, so the PS2 was the first ever console I played on. Again, a bit of a shame that my parents decided to sell the PS2 when I was about 7 or 8. I do make a little bit of a dig at them for doing that. Because I feel like now a lot of the games are quite expensive, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun, isn't it? Going to the likes of, admittedly, going to the likes of CEX and walking out with... potentially, you know, a good 20 games, 40 games, £20 if I can get my words right. Of course, them all being 20p. 50p, I don't know what I'm going on about. Right, we've nearly made it to the end here, so I've got to concentrate quite a lot here. Oh, that was close. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Come on, come on. Oh, here we go. There it is. There it is. We have finally completed the second level. Oh, dear. Deary, deary me. But that's your, I'd say, 15-20 minute look at Crash Bandicoot. Of course, if you have enjoyed this, I'd really appreciate you guys leaving a like. That would be much appreciated on this video. If you want to see more on the PSX emulator, let me know. If you want to see any PS2 games, let me know. That'll be on the actual console. But if you want to see anything else, I can get, you know, Nintendo Wii emulators, that sort of thing. I can try and get stuff. But it'll really be just what I fancy playing every week. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I really appreciate you watching these Retro Sunday videos because I really enjoy making them. And it really makes me smile that you guys enjoy it. So if you could leave a like, that would make me smile even more. And if you want to make me smile, as I say, leave a like. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for Retro Sunday and Foot Manager content. And thank you very much for watching. I don't know what I'm going on about there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. My delivery still hasn't come, so that's a bit annoying. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Goodbye.